this is my No Plant story. 10 years ago, in the year 2035, Saving the Plant movement was born. This movement talked about how humans are using all of the plants remaining on Earth. It was a huge movement. Everyone supported it, but the big companies who were killing all the plants just wouldn't listen. The plants were less and less every day, and people began to notice, not just because they wouldn't see any trees in the street, but also because the temperature started to increase dramatically. This happened since without the plants, levels of greenhouse gases increased and temperatures raised. Because of this, the few plants left suffered since they were not able to function and grow under this intense heat. So a few months later, there were no plants remaining on Earth. And here we are 10 years later. Now it's 2045. My name is Kyra, my sister's name is Alia, and our dog's name is Chewy. Our parents passed away 2 years ago since they were making a lot of sacrifices in order for us to live. The last thing that I remember that they'd say was, listen, we hear of a community that says that if only green plants disappear, there may exist in the ocean microscopic algae, bacteria, and phytoplankton. These aquatic plants are right at the bottom of the food chain and may be our saviors. So in theory, life could remain and evolve in the oceans. But sea life will only support a small fraction of the human population. Their plan is to use water as means to create oxygen using electrolysis to split water molecules into oxygen and hydrogen, with the oxygen released into the atmosphere to breathe and hydrogen used for the chemosynthesis of food. Make sure not to tell anyone since they probably won't be able to help all of that people. I don't have enough time left, but take care of your sister. Make sure you can make it out of this healthy and safe. You know what to do. I miss him so much. I remember that everyone used to tell me that I look exactly like my father. I know you might be really confused because, as we all know, plants affect our own life in many different ways, from the cotton clothes we wear, to the food we eat, the air we breathe, to the flowers we give as a romantic gift to our significant others. Also, green life matters from the very bottom of the food chain to the very top. This also affected the economy because a lot of industries use plants in order to make their products, so right after the plants were gone, these companies broke. So how are we surviving? Well, according to NASA calculation, the average human being requires 140 grams of oxygen per day. The Earth's atmosphere holds around 1,000 billion tons of oxygen, and the total world population is 7.5 billion, meaning that we will last another 370 years. But there's also oxygen in the ground and inside ice. Scientists estimate that the oxygen atmospheric content will be exhausted after 52,000 years if the population of animals remain constant. So yeah, that's basically how we have been surviving. But a few days ago we noticed something. We are running out of food. You see, when we thought about the plant's extinction, we thought that the main problem was going to be the lack of oxygen, but actually the main concern is the devastation of all our food webs. We estimated that the time for the animal population to die out will be 13 years, but everyone was going crazy about not having anything to eat, so they all ended up dying a few months ago. The only animals that we have left is our dog. Because of this, we had to find a solution so that Alia, Chewy, and I can survive. That is when I remember that what my parents told me. The problem is that we don't live near the sea, so we obviously have to travel from Chihuahua to Mazatlan. Right now, we are actually making sure that we have everything that we need ready for the trip. Let me show you. First, we obviously have water bottles. Since the lack of plants, the water cycle was affected. We have to take any water that we see even in the ground, and we filter it with this bottle that has rocks. Then we have food. I know this looks gross, but since there is no animals left, we will have to eat fungi, which is living on dead vegetation. Then we have some face masks. You see, we breathe in oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. The air around us used to contain around 21% of oxygen and 0.04% carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide becomes dangerous at around 1% of the air mass. As we all know, plants produce oxygen by a process called photosynthesis. So nowadays, breathing the air that we have around us is toxic, so we have to make sure to protect from it. Then we have some fans. As I mentioned before, because of the lack of plants, the air is extremely hot. Also, without plants to hold soil to the land, the soil was washed away into the sea, leaving much of the planet resembling a hot desert. And last but not least, we have some clean clothes and a tent where we can sleep at night. We will be starting our trip tomorrow. Alia, wake up, we have to go. Alright, I'll wake up Chewy. Hurry up. How long will it take us to get there? I have no idea. Hopefully not that much because I don't think we have enough food. The first thing we did was to ask for direction. We decided to ask a friendly looking man, so we approached him. Hi, I'm Kaira, and my sister and I are going to Mazatlan. Do you know how to get there? Yeah, you just have to turn to your left and then just keep going straight ahead. In a couple minutes, you will be able to find the signs that will indicate you where to go in order to get there. Great, thank you. After a few hours, we had our first complication. What is happening? Oh no, please no. What is happening? You are worrying me. Alia, I think we are running out of gas. What? But then how are we going to get there? I guess we will have to walk. Oh no, this can't get worse. Well, I hope it doesn't. We had to take all of our things out of the car and then we tried to carry them, but we just couldn't. If we did, then we would die dehydrated or of hunger. You see, we didn't know this would happen, so we only packed the things that we thought were necessary for a car trip, not for a walking trip. So we had to make a decision: what are we going to keep and what are we going to leave here? We ended up only carrying our water, food, the fence, our tent, and our masks. We couldn't leave that many things behind, but at least it wasn't as heavy as before. Another problem was going to be how we were going to administer our food and water, since we were going to get more tired and we will get tired more easily. We will obviously need more food and water, but we didn't have enough. Alia, this is what is going to happen with the food and water situation. We can only drink or eat if we find it extremely necessary. We only have 3 liters of water and 3 pounds of fungi, okay? Fine. At that point, I think we were both extremely scared and worried, because we also had to take care of our dog Chewy. After a few hours of walking, we were exhausted. We just couldn't continue. We had to rest. We looked for a good place to put our tent and we slept for about 5 hours. When we woke up, we talked for some minutes and then Alia told me, I don't know if I want to continue. I know, Alia, but we are about to get there. You can just give up. Karina, we are not almost there. We still have to walk for hours and hours. I don't think I can continue. It just seems impossible. I know it seems impossible, but it's not. We can get there. We still have food and water. Alia, please don't give up. Karina, stop it. You know we are not going to get there. It's impossible. We are either going to die here or they won't even accept us there. I didn't know what to say to her, honestly. She just seemed so determined to give up, but after a few minutes we heard something. Do you hear that? Yeah, what do you think it is? I think it sounds like a car. Yes, it was a car, but it felt more like a miracle, to be honest. After a few seconds, the car got to where we were, and it stopped when they saw us. In the car, there were 3 people. We were extremely freaked out. Hi, I'm Luna. Who are you? Hi, I'm Karina, and this is my little sister, Alia. Nice to meet you. These are my brothers, Jack and Tom. They both say hi. What are you doing here? I wasn't sure if I should tell them or not because I didn't want anyone to know where we were going in order to make sure that they had enough space for us in Mazatlan. But out of nowhere and without thinking, Alia said, We are going to Mazatlan. Where are you going? This is so cool. We are also going there. We heard of a group of people who might have the solution for the plant's extinction. We did too. I can't believe you are walking all the way there. That is going to be impossible. Do you want to join us? We have enough space, water, and food. Now we have a chance to get there. I know, Alia, but Luna, are you sure? We don't want to disturb you guys. Yeah, it's totally fine with us. We would love to help. I can't believe this. This is just amazing. Thank you so much, guys. You can imagine how much you are helping us. Do you guys know how much time it will take us to get there? We are not sure, but maybe like 8 hours? After a few hours, we finally arrived. The next thing that we had to do was to find a group of people. But when we arrived, we got extremely stressed and scared because we wouldn't see anyone. There seemed to be no life there, so we decided to get out of the car and just walked. After a few minutes, we decided to go into a supermarket because we heard a noise that was coming from there. When we entered, we were surprised to what we were seeing. Inside there were like 1,000 people. They looked really scared and worried. To our left there were people with robes. They were scientists. When I saw them, I knew we were in the right place. When we entered, a man approached us and told us to go away, and Alia got extremely sad. We are not leaving. We traveled for hours to get here. We suffered hunger, thirst, and more, just so that you tell us that we can stay. No, we are staying, no matter what you tell us. Everyone was impressed at how Alia reacted. The man that approached us got silent and went to talk to a group of people. Apparently, they were the leaders of the group. The man approached us and told us to leave again and that if we didn't, he would ask the police to kick us out. "Oh, please, sir, we traveled so much just to get here. Please let us stay." "I'm sorry, we have made a decision. You cannot stay." Out of nowhere, one of the scientists approached me and said, "You look so familiar. Where are you from again?" "We are from Chihuahua, sir." "Why?" "Was your father Alonso Gomez?" "Yes, sir." "Why?" "No way, you're Alonso's daughter. I can't believe it. Guys, these are Alonso's daughters. Do you remember that he would always talked about them?" More scientists approached us and said, "Yes, of course we remember." They approached the leader and told him, "Sir, we are not continuing with our investigation if you don't let these girls and their friends stay." "Are you serious?" "Okay, I guess you can stay." We were all so happy that we made it. Apparently, my dad was good friends with all the scientists there, and they were the ones that told him about the experiments that they were doing. After all of that, people started to explain to us everything. We hide because we don't want anyone to find us, since we don't think we have enough resources for all of us to survive, but hopefully the scientists will succeed in their experiment and we will be able to survive. It is now 4 months after we arrived, and I'm happy to say that the scientists did succeed in their experiment. We are now living in good conditions and will probably be until we die.